Most track riders will know roughly where they want to position themselves for their mid-corner hang-off. However, what isn't so clear in everyone's minds is how they move into that position from the braking zone, through corner entry, and then eventually into their full hang-off position mid-corner. In this video, I want to go over the details of the body position transition in the first half of the corner so that you can be more confident in how you move your body and when to move it. First, getting set for the corner. One of the key aspects that make up a good rider is their ability to affect stability as little as possible as they move around on the bike. Believe it or not, you weigh a lot. Your weight makes up roughly 1/3 of the total weight of bike and rider, and it's for this reason that we have to be mindful of when and how we move our bodies around and at what time that happens. I'm of the opinion that we should be getting our lower body into position for the corner before we begin braking. This is how you'll see the majority of riders doing it at the highest levels. So what position do we want to be in? Let's go over it. Getting set early means putting yourself in the position in the seat that you want to be using during your mid-corner hang-off. If we assume the rider normally moves one cheek off the seat for their hang-off, this would simply mean shifting your backside across and getting into that position before you sit up and begin braking. Meanwhile, your head will remain in the middle of the bike and your feet won't change position either. Once you begin braking, your only body position action will be to sit up. Sitting up gets your body into the wind to act as an extra slowing force, but it also puts you in a much better position to use the controls, brace some of your weight on the bars, and to actually see where you're going. With the lower body, it's my preference to keep both knees up against the tank so that I can squeeze it and stop myself sliding forward, but also to create another level of support as I engage my lower body and core. Now, having some weight on the bars is inevitable in the big braking zones, but you can still work to remove some of that weight by using your lower body and core like this. With your lower body already in place, all you have to worry about as you approach your entry point is steering the bike as you release the brake and then beginning to commit your upper body. At this stage, you still want to be in a good position to use the controls because you may still be tapering off the brakes, and obviously you're now beginning to push the inside bar and steer the bike into the corner. For this reason, you don't need to be too hasty with getting your upper body and head off to the inside. Remaining more central in this phase will just make using those controls easier as you work to modulate your final bit of braking and set your line. Now that you're committing to the corner and beginning to lean the bike over, you can also begin committing your upper body and your head into the corner too. Your goal should be to commit your upper body at the same rate as you lean the bike over, with the end goal being to reach your full hang-off position at around the same point that you reach your maximum lean angle for the corner and your line is set. In reality, it won't always sync up perfectly like this, but it's a good way to imagine a nice smooth transition. If you steer slowly for a particular corner, your upper body transition to full hang-off will be slower too. If you flick the bike over very quickly, your transition will also be quick. Don't forget about your lower body support. With so much concentration on committing your upper body, you may forget about the job of the lower body, which is to provide the support for your hang-off so that you can really begin loosening the grip on the bars as braking finishes and you fully commit to the corner. As the bike leans over, your lower body and core is going to be called into action more and more as your upper body moves more to the inside, meaning you'll feel the efforts ramp up in your legs and core at a similar rate as you work to create that stable base. If you don't engage your lower body, then you're likely going to find yourself with a very tense inside arm, which is not what we want. The only other point to mention on this is to practice your timing. The process itself isn't too complicated, but in practice you may need to work on your timing. At first you'll be thinking about everything a little too much, but before long it'll start to come more automatic and move into your subconscious. And like I said, it won't always be a perfectly synced transition. Some corners will mean you take a different approach, and some riders will have slightly different timings too. Take what I've covered here as a base to aim for, then see how that fits around the corners that you ride and how you find it easiest to move around. Is this an area you've struggled with yourself? Tell us about it in the comments down below, and as always, if you like the video then please hit the button and subscribe to the channel for more performance riding advice and guides moving forward. I'll see you in the next one.